Did you know that what you eat before bed could be the difference between waking up energized or waking up in pain? Most seniors make a critical mistake each night that leaves their joints stiff, their minds foggy, and their energy depleted by morning. I discovered this the hard way until I found 8 specific foods that completely transform my sleep and morning mobility. These aren't just ordinary snacks. They work while you sleep to reduce inflammation, stabilize blood sugar, and even prevent the muscle loss that happens after 70. Stay with me until the end, because the last food on this list surprised even my doctor with how effectively it improves morning energy levels. Before we dive into these 8 powerful foods, let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how some mornings you wake up feeling refreshed and ready for the day, while other mornings it feels like your body aged another decade overnight? That difference isn't random. What you eat in those crucial hours before bed directly impacts how you'll feel when you wake up. And after 70, this becomes even more important. You see, while we sleep, our bodies are actually hard at work, repairing muscles, consolidating memories, and balancing hormones. But here's what most seniors don't realize. Your body needs specific nutrients to perform this overnight maintenance effectively. Without these nutrients, you wake up with stiff joints, brain fog, and that dreaded morning fatigue that can ruin your entire day. I learned this lesson personally. For years, I struggled with poor sleep and painful mornings. I tried everything: expensive mattresses, sleeping pills, even those late-night infomercial gadgets. Nothing worked until I discovered the connection between evening nutrition and morning mobility. In this video, I'll share the 8 specific foods that transform my sleep and morning energy. These aren't just random healthy snacks. Each one serves a specific purpose while you sleep. You'll learn which food naturally reduces inflammation in your joints overnight, the perfect evening protein that prevents muscle loss while you sleep, which surprising mineral deficiency is sabotaging your sleep quality, and the simple bedtime snack combination that can give you more energy than your morning coffee. If you're over 70 and tired of waking up feeling exhausted, stiff, or foggy, these foods could change everything. And the best part? They're all affordable, available at any grocery store, and can be prepared in minutes. Let's get started with the first food on our list, which might surprise you with how effectively it reduces overnight inflammation. The first food that can transform your sleep and morning energy is something you might not expect: Tart cherries. Now, before you think, oh, just another fruit recommendation, let me tell you why Tart cherries are different from anything else you might eat before bed. Tart cherries contain one of the highest natural sources of melatonin, the hormone that regulates your sleep cycle. But unlike synthetic melatonin supplements that can leave you groggy, Tart cherries provide a gentle, natural form that helps you fall asleep without the morning hangover effect. But here's what makes Tart cherries truly special for seniors. They're packed with powerful anti-inflammatory compounds called anthocyanins. These compounds actually work while you sleep to reduce inflammation in your joints and muscles. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how your arthritis or joint pain feels worse first thing in the morning? That's because inflammation often peaks during the night. Tart cherries help combat this process, so you wake up with less stiffness and pain. The first food that can transform your sleep and morning energy is something you might not expect: Tart cherries. I remember when I first tried Tart cherry juice before bed. For years, I'd wake up with hands so stiff I could barely make my morning coffee. But after just a week of drinking Tart cherry juice each night, I noticed something remarkable. I could make a fist without wincing for the first time in years. The research backs this up too. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that older adults who consumed Tart cherry juice twice daily for 3 weeks experienced significant improvements in sleep duration and quality. How to use it: about an hour before bed, drink 8 ounces of pure Tart cherry juice or eat a small handful of dried Tart cherries. Just make sure you're getting the Tart variety, sometimes called Montmorency cherries, not sweet cherries, as the Tart ones contain significantly more melatonin and anti-inflammatory compounds. Now, let's move on to the second food, which addresses one of the biggest hidden causes of poor sleep after 70. The second food that can dramatically improve your sleep and morning energy is kiwi fruit. This small fuzzy fruit might not look like much, but it packs a powerful punch when it comes to sleep quality. And here's why it's especially important for seniors. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at absorbing certain nutrients, particularly serotonin precursors that help regulate our sleep cycle. Kiwi fruit contains an abundance of serotonin, which helps your brain transition into sleep mode. But even more importantly for seniors, kiwis are exceptionally high in vitamin C and antioxidants that support your immune system while you sleep. Did you know that your immune system is most active during deep sleep? That's when your body does most of its repair work. By eating kiwi before bed, you're essentially giving your immune system the tools it needs to work effectively overnight. There's fascinating research on this too. A study from Taipei Medical University found that adults who ate 2 kiwi fruits 1 hour before bedtime for 4 weeks fell asleep 42% more quickly, slept 13% longer, and had 5% better sleep quality. I was skeptical at first, but after adding kiwi to my evening routine, I noticed something remarkable. Those middle-of-the-night awakenings that had plagued me for years became less frequent. I was sleeping through the night more consistently and waking up feeling more refreshed. How to use it? Simply eat 1 or 2 kiwi fruits about an hour before bedtime. You can slice them in half and scoop out the flesh with a spoon. No peeling required. If you find them too tart, try the gold variety, which tends to be sweeter. But there's an important warning. If you're taking blood-thinning medications, check with your doctor first, as kiwi can interact with certain medications. Now, let's move on to food number 3, which addresses one of the most overlooked aspects of sleep quality after 70. The third food combination that can transform your sleep and morning energy is Greek yogurt with a small drizzle of honey. This might sound like a simple snack, but the science behind why it works is fascinating, especially for seniors. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to blood sugar fluctuations during the night. If your blood sugar drops too low while you're sleeping, your body releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline to compensate. These hormones can wake you up or prevent you from reaching the deeper, more restorative stages of sleep. Greek yogurt provides a slow-releasing protein that helps stabilize your blood sugar throughout the night. Unlike regular yogurt, Greek yogurt contains nearly twice the protein and half the sugar, making it ideal for overnight blood sugar management. The small amount of honey serves 2 purposes. First, it satisfies your sweet tooth without causing a major blood sugar spike. And second, it actually signals your brain to reduce orexin, a neurotransmitter that keeps you alert and awake. But there's another reason this combination is perfect for seniors: calcium absorption. Greek yogurt is rich in calcium, which your body absorbs more effectively during sleep. This calcium helps prevent those painful nighttime leg cramps that wake many seniors up. I started incorporating this simple snack about 30 minutes before bed, and within days, I noticed I was sleeping more soundly. Those 3 a.m. wake-ups became less frequent, and I wasn't experiencing the mid-sleep hunger pangs that used to disrupt my rest. How to use it? About 30 minutes before bed, enjoy a small serving, about 1/2 cup, of plain Greek yogurt with a teaspoon of honey. If you want to enhance the benefits even further, sprinkle on a few walnuts, which contain natural melatonin. One important note: make sure you're choosing plain Greek yogurt, not the flavored varieties that can contain as much sugar as a dessert. Now, let's move on to food number 4, which addresses a critical deficiency that affects over 80% of seniors and directly impacts sleep quality. The fourth food that can dramatically improve your sleep and morning energy is something many seniors completely overlook: pumpkin seeds. These small seeds might not look impressive, but they're one of the richest natural sources of magnesium, a mineral that plays a crucial role in sleep quality and morning mobility. Here's what most doctors don't tell you. Magnesium deficiency affects over 80% of seniors, and it's one of the leading hidden causes of poor sleep, muscle cramps, and morning stiffness. Magnesium works by activating the parasympathetic nervous system, the system responsible for helping you relax and fall asleep. It also regulates neurotransmitters that calm the brain and nervous system. But for seniors, there's an even more important benefit. Magnesium helps relax your muscles during sleep. This prevents those painful nighttime leg cramps that can jolt you awake, and it reduces morning muscle stiffness by allowing your muscles to fully relax during deep sleep. I remember when I first started incorporating pumpkin seeds into my evening routine. For years, I'd suffered from restless legs and occasional leg cramps that would wake me up in the middle of the night. But after just a few weeks of eating a small handful of pumpkin seeds before bed, those symptoms virtually disappeared. The research supports this too. A study published in the Journal of Research in Medical Sciences found that magnesium supplementation improves sleep efficiency, sleep time, and reduced early morning awakening in elderly participants. How to use it? About an hour before bed, eat a small handful, about 2 tablespoons, of raw, unsalted pumpkin seeds. You can eat them plain or sprinkle them on your Greek yogurt for a powerful sleep-enhancing combination. If you don't enjoy the taste of pumpkin seeds, other good magnesium sources include almonds, spinach, or a small piece of dark chocolate. Just make sure it's at least 70% cocoa and consumed earlier in the evening due to its caffeine content. Now, let's move on to food number 5, which addresses one of the most overlooked aspects of sleep quality after 70. The fifth food that can transform your sleep and morning energy is fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, or sardines. Now, I know what you might be thinking, fish before bed? But hear me out, because the science behind this recommendation is compelling, especially for seniors. Fatty fish is one of the best natural sources of vitamin D and omega-3 fatty acid, two nutrients that become increasingly important for sleep quality as we age. Here's what most people don't realize. Vitamin D deficiency is extremely common in seniors, affecting up to 80% of older adults, and this deficiency has been directly linked to poor sleep quality, increased inflammation, and reduced cognitive function upon waking. The omega-3 fatty acids in fish, particularly DHA, help regulate serotonin, a neurotransmitter that affects both mood and sleep. They also reduce inflammation throughout the body, which can help alleviate the joint pain and stiffness that often disrupts sleep for seniors. But here's the most fascinating part. Research published in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine found that adults who ate fatty fish 3 times a week experienced significant improvements in sleep quality and reported feeling more alert during the day. The researchers attributed this to the combination of vitamin D and omega-3s working together. I was skeptical at first about eating fish in the evening, but after incorporating a small portion of salmon into my dinner 3 times a week, I noticed something remarkable. I was falling asleep more easily and waking up with significantly less joint stiffness. How to use it? Include a 3-4-ounce portion of fatty fish in your dinner 2-3 times per week. If you're concerned about eating a heavy protein too close to bedtime, simply have your dinner at least 3 hours before you plan to sleep. If you don't enjoy fish or can't eat it regularly, consider taking a high-quality fish oil supplement with your evening meal. Just make sure it's been tested for purity and doesn't cause any digestive discomfort. Now, let's move on to food number 6, which addresses one of the most common causes of disrupted sleep after 70. The sixth food that can dramatically improve your sleep and morning energy is turkey, but not for the reason most people think. We've all heard that turkey makes you sleepy because of tryptophan, and while that's partially true, there's a much more important reason why turkey before bed is especially beneficial for seniors. As we age, our bodies produce less growth hormone during sleep. This hormone is essential for overnight muscle repair and maintenance. Without adequate levels, seniors wake up feeling weak and experience accelerated muscle loss over time. Turkey is rich in high-quality protein that provides the amino acids your body needs to produce growth hormone during sleep. It's particularly high in tryptophan, which your body converts into serotonin and then melatonin, helping regulate your sleep cycle. But here's what makes turkey especially valuable for seniors. It contains a unique combination of nutrients that support muscle preservation overnight. This is crucial because after 70, muscle loss accelerates, and much of this loss occurs during sleep when protein isn't available. The sixth food that can dramatically improve your sleep and morning energy is turkey, but not for the reason most people think. We've all heard that turkey makes you sleepy because of tryptophan, and while that's partially true, there's a much more important reason why turkey before bed is especially beneficial for seniors. A study from Maastricht University found that consuming protein before bed increased muscle protein synthesis during sleep by 22% in older adults. This means your body is actually building and repairing muscle while you rest, rather than breaking it down. I noticed this effect personally. After incorporating a small amount of turkey into my evening routine, I began waking up with noticeably less muscle stiffness and more strength first thing in the morning. Tasks like getting out of bed or lifting my morning coffee cup became easier. How to use it? Include a small portion, about 3-4 ounces, of turkey in your dinner, or have a few slices of turkey breast as a light snack about 2 hours before bedtime. Combine it with a small amount of carbohydrates, like a piece of whole grain toast, which helps the tryptophan cross the blood-brain barrier more effectively. If you don't eat meat, alternatives like chickpeas, lentils, or a small amount of cottage cheese can provide similar benefits. Now, let's move on to food number 7, which addresses a critical aspect of brain function during sleep. The seventh food that can transform your sleep and morning energy is walnuts, and they're particularly valuable for seniors concerned about brain health and morning mental clarity. Walnuts have a unique property that sets them apart from other nuts. They're one of the few foods that naturally contain melatonin, the hormone that regulates your sleep-wake cycle. But that's just the beginning of their benefits. What makes walnuts especially powerful for seniors is their high concentration of DHA, a type of omega-3 fatty acid that supports brain health. During sleep, your brain performs critical maintenance functions, including memory consolidation and toxin removal. DHA helps facilitate these processes, so you wake up with better mental clarity. But there's another reason walnuts are perfect before bed. They contain an ideal ratio of nutrients that support the production of serotonin, a neurotransmitter that helps regulate sleep. As we age, serotonin production naturally declines, which is one reason many seniors struggle with sleep disturbances. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that regular walnut consumption improved cognitive function in older adults. Another study from the University of Texas found that walnuts helped improve sleep quality and morning alertness. I was particularly interested in this research because I'd been experiencing what many call senior moments. Those frustrating times when you walk into a room and forget why you're there. After adding a small handful of walnuts to my evening routine, I noticed a significant improvement in my morning mental clarity. How to use it? About an hour before bed, eat a small handful of walnuts, about 1-2 tablespoons. You can eat them plain or add them to your Greek yogurt for a powerful sleep-enhancing combination. If you're not a fan of walnuts, flax seeds are another good option, though they don't contain the natural melatonin that makes walnuts especially effective. Now let's move on to the eighth and final food, which might surprise you with how effectively it improves morning energy levels. The eighth and final food that can dramatically transform your sleep and morning energy is something that surprised even my doctor: Montmorency Tart Cherry Concentrate. This isn't your ordinary cherry juice. It's a specific variety that contains up to 10 times the active compounds of regular cherry, and its effects on senior sleep and morning mobility are nothing short of remarkable. What makes this concentrate so powerful is its unique combination of melatonin and anthocyanins. The melatonin helps regulate your sleep cycle naturally, while the anthocyanins work throughout the night to reduce inflammation in your joints and muscles. But here's what most people don't know. Tart Cherry Concentrate has been shown to increase total sleep time by up to 84 minutes in seniors with insomnia. That's more effective than many prescription sleep medications, without any of the dangerous side effects. For seniors who struggle with arthritis or joint pain, there's an even more important benefit. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that Tart Cherry Concentrate reduced inflammatory markers by up to 25%, which explains why many seniors report waking up with significantly less joint pain and stiffness after using it regularly. I was skeptical when I first heard about this, but desperate for relief from my morning joint pain. After just 2 weeks of taking Tart Cherry Concentrate before bed, I experienced something I hadn't felt in years. I woke up and got out of bed without the usual 10 minutes of warming up my stiff joints. My hands could make a fist without pain, and my knees didn't creak with every step. When I told my doctor about these improvements, he was initially dismissive until I showed him the research. Now he recommends it to many of his senior patients. How to use it? Take 1 or 2 tablespoons of Montmorency Tart Cherry Concentrate mixed with a small amount of water about an hour before bedtime. Make sure you're getting the concentrate, not just any cherry juice, as the concentrate contains significantly higher levels of the active compounds. If you can't find the concentrate, look for Tart Cherry capsules, which can provide similar benefits. Just make sure they specifically contain Montmorency Tart Cherry. We've covered 8 powerful foods that can transform your sleep and morning energy after 70. Let's quickly recap what they are. 1. Tart cherries, for natural melatonin and reduced inflammation. 2. Kiwi fruit, for improved sleep onset and immune support. 3. Greek yogurt with honey, for stable blood sugar throughout the night. 4. Pumpkin seed, for magnesium that relaxes muscles and prevents cramps. 5. Fatty fish, for vitamin D and omega-3s that improve sleep quality. 6. Turkey, for protein that prevents overnight muscle loss. 7. Walnuts, for brain health and morning mental clarity. 8. Tart Cherry Concentrate, for extended sleep time and dramatic reduction in morning joint pain. Now, you don't need to incorporate all 8 of these foods every single night. Even adding just 2 or 3 to your evening routine can make a significant difference in how you feel when you wake up. The key is consistency. These foods work best when they become part of your regular routine, not just something you try once or twice. I recommend starting with the foods that address your most pressing concern. If you struggle with joint pain, focus on tart cherries and fatty fish. If mental clarity is your priority, walnuts and kiwi might be your best starting point. Remember, what you eat before bed isn't just about avoiding indigestion or heartburn. It's about giving your body the specific nutrients it needs to perform its critical overnight maintenance. When you provide these nutrients consistently, you'll be amazed at how much better you feel each morning. I'd love to hear which of these foods you plan to try first. Leave a comment below sharing your biggest sleep or morning energy challenge and which food you think might help. If you found this information valuable, Please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content on healthy aging. And if you know someone who struggles with poor sleep or morning stiffness, please share this video with them. It might just change their life as it did mine. Thank you for watching, and here's to waking up with more energy, less pain, and a clearer mind tomorrow morning. And if you're interested in learning more about nutrition for healthy aging, check out my video on the 7 foods that fight inflammation after 70. I'll link to it on the screen now. Until next time, sleep well and wake up feeling your best.